Good morning, YouTubers. Hope you can hear me okay there. There we go. Just adjust it. So today I'm going to talk about the M1A1, which is the Thompson submachine gun. Okay. Now this is an air rifle. This is an air rifle. It fires BBs. Okay. Before you start panicking, but I mean, as a replica, I mean, I like machine guns, as you know. I'm a collector. And I would like to have that on my wall, hanging up. It's not my thing. It's not really what I would like to go shooting. I will have a go of it. I will take it for a little shoot. But this is an Umarex. It's made by German company Umarex, and it's a CO2 replica of the M1A1, which was a cheaper production version of the original Thompson machine gun, as seen with Al Capone and Chicago, the Chicago piano, carrying them around in a violin case. You can see how it would fit in a violin case. This has got the original reproduction M1 sling on there. Maybe I've got it on backwards. It's got US on the inside. Anyway, yeah, it's quite a nice thing. But the very first thing that, when you pick it up, you think to yourself, well, it should have a big drum magazine on it, which would make it difficult to mount to the wall, I would imagine. And this plank of wood at the front there, the proper Thompson had a pistol grip at the front here and at the back. And it's a little bit disappointing when you pick it up, because you think, well, it should have a drum magazine, and it should have, well, the option anyway to put the pistol grip on the front there, and the option for the drum magazine. Although the M1A1 did come a bit different, a bit cheaper version. The cocking handles on the side for a start. So I think on the original ones it was on the top, which made it sort of ambidextrous, unless you wanted to change the safety, which is here. Got this, these two levers. One's the safety catch, I think that's safety back there, and that's fire forwards on these quite elaborate looking stalks, and the other one is the semi-automatic, and you flick it round to the front for fully automatic. In some countries you're allowed to have the fully auto function on this gun, but we live in Europe, we're in Spain, and we don't have that function. It's fixed in the semi-auto position, which is just as well. I mean, I know it's good fun flicking it forwards. I've seen people do it on YouTube videos, and they expire the entire magazine and CO2 in a couple of short bursts, and so it'll cost you a lot of money in CO2. Not that that bothers you really, because they're not that expensive, but it is quite a cool replica. And I think, you know, as a collector, to have it hung up, oh, big dent in the wall, have it hung up on the wall would be quite cool. Although with the cocking handle on the side, it's going to make things difficult, isn't it? It's got this horrible, I'm trying to show you this, quite a big clumsy thing. It's quite heavy as well. I mean, I really don't think I would have liked to have gone to war with one of these. I much prefer the MP40. That's just my personal opinion. Though the 45 ACP was a higher caliber for sure, so it probably would have hurt more if you got shot with it. I don't think I'd like to get shot with anything really. I'm allergic to bullets. It's not something. They bring me out in a nasty wound. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You've got this horrible catch for removing the magazine. Come on, there you go. It's got this unusual rail system. You've got to put the magazine into the rails. That's where all the BBs go. So it slots in like a train, and you've got to go up and into the receiver there. But it's got this whole big spur thing, so you can use your thumb, or you can just pull it from the front. Pull it down. Quite awkward thing. Over-engineered. It was too expensive. That was a big claim about it. It was very good, what it did. I mean, it was deadly, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to poo-poo it in any way. Lots of people died on the wrong end of these things, but it was a very, very expensive gun. And when the war broke out, the British wanted submachine guns, and they thought, ouch, the Thompson was seriously expensive gun. Even the cheap version, which was the M1A1, that was a very expensive gun. And it was just necessary to have cheaper ones. I think the Americans actually brought out the grease gun later in the war because the Thompson was so expensive. They wanted to stick with 45 ACP, and the Sten gun obviously was the cheapest and nastiest machine gun in the world. And they didn't want 9mm, so they wanted their own version of the Sten gun, really, in 45 ACP. So they produced it didn't even have a cocking handle. You could put your finger in the bolt and pull it back. Perhaps I'll get hold of one of them to show you at some point. But Umarex's Thompson M1A1 submachine gun, it's a really nice weighty replica. The wood is actually plastic, but it does look like wood, and I think it would do great on the wall. I will shoot it, and I will let you know how it shoots. But I don't really want to shoot it. I'd really like to mount that on the wall somewhere. I think it's quite cool. But I don't want one. I wouldn't actually go out and buy one for myself. I can think of other things I'd rather buy. But as a replica of the original thing, and if you're a Thompson fan, yeah, I can see that being a buyer to hang on your wall. I don't like it. That's the top and bottom of it, really. It's not because Umarex haven't done a good job of making a replica. It's just a really horrible designed gun, I think. I don't think any intelligent person was actually involved in the design of it. They just wanted something that would fire fully auto in 45 ACP, and they just drew Frankenstein's monster. And this is, look at that gap there. My hand, look, is that just Umarex that's done that, or is that actually how it was? Because my hand does not fit into that hole. It keeps getting caught on there. There's not enough gap there, and I don't have particularly big hands. I'm an average sized guy. I'm 5'9½", 5'10", something like that. And so I'm not a big guy. You know, a big guy would struggle, especially, I mean, I couldn't even wear gloves, could I? Hold that. Now, that may just be Umarex. I've got the dimensions a bit wrong. I don't know. It does strip apart, apparently. I've never tried it. I've seen people do it. There's a little button you press up here and the whole thing slides out. Got to take the cocking handle off first with a screwdriver, but it's an awkward thing. It is an awkward thing, and it's 100 years old. You know, this design was specifically for the First World War. I mean, you can see it's got First World War written all over it, and big, heavy, cumbersome, and can do better. That's it, really. By the end of the Second World War, the Germans, of course, had brought out the assault rifle. They were first to bring out the submachine gun, MP18, the Bergmann, and they were first to bring out the assault rifle. And assault rifles have pretty much put the nail in the coffin for submachine guns, because an assault rifle is a combination of a submachine gun and a rifle, because they deduced that the old bolt action rifles were far too powerful for what they needed, and the average squaddy couldn't hit anything beyond 300 yards anyway, so they calibered them down to 7.62 NATO and 5.56. So the machine gun is no more, pretty much. You can see how machine guns progressed. I personally think the Uzi was the best. Others may think differently, but there were a lot of good machine guns out there. The Sterling was very good. We had the Sterling when I was in the British Army, and they were very good. As a basic little gun, you know, they were a much improved version of the Sten gun. But overall, what would I give the out of 10, the M1A1. It's probably a really good replica. It probably accurately denotes the gun. I'd probably give it 10 out of 10 as a replica, but the actual Thompson submachine gun, I don't like it. I think it's horrible. It's not my thing at all, and I wouldn't buy one unless I was going to hang it on the wall as part of a collection, something like that. There you go. Thanks for watching.